map ban, and I hope that FaZe Clan are able to go through this for the entire tournament. So that's my hope, because this is a really good map pool for them. As you can see, this is lovely. I love this.
Oh my god, look at this screen. This is amazing. All right,
oh
so that is such a welcome change for Valorant. And I mean, this is in client. This is in client. This is usually something that you would snag from Overwatch, something that you would usually snag from like other games, but like we just haven't had that sort of presentation in a sense. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, we finally have ourselves a game, and Sully, where have we landed?
Dusty perf of Bind, and this is good. This is good for FaZe. This map pool, obviously, they're not going to always have the higher seed against most teams, which is definitely going to be a little bit difficult, because Ascent, if that map gets forced, it'll be very rocky for them. Currently playing 12 maps. They sit 3-9. Granted, some of the results have been pretty close, like a 13-10 loss to a team like Cloud9, so it's not too, or this isn't too bad of a map for them in terms of Ascent, but Bind is definitely where they find their stride. They've played, I think, 14 maps, and they sit at a comfortable 10-4, if I'm not mistaken, so hopefully they kick things off with a bang. They will be starting on the defensive half, and MunkE find themselves residing on the attack.
And again, if we actually start to talk about a little bit of their comp, this is very stereotypical in a sense. I'm seeing what would be a little bit of a more meta in a sense for MunkE. They have the breach. Of course, they're just going to be flashing out at each of these sites, especially with the fact that they do have an Omen on their side. And, well, not only that, you're silly, but FaZe, they do at least have the Killjoy ready and raring to go, kind of just to supplement a pure support. Same thing with MunkE's Cypher. Now in this round, we actually do have a little bit of a take. Held, holding on back, but actually it's Corey to take down Sarge. But U-Haul is slowly being taken, but they're not letting it go.
Oh, I really like this hold as well. Corey just getting back and backing up his teammate. There's not a lot they can do there. Corey, even up close, finds himself another frag, leaving just one to try and figure this one all by himself. Okay, maybe doing a little bit. 1 versus 4, still a lot more work to do. Up close, the blast back goes out, and it doesn't do enough damage, doesn't reach his target. ZachaREEE cleans it up, but a quick 1-0 start with the side of FaZe, and it's a decent setup. I mentioned earlier that, especially against Equinox, they were very passive, very sit back on the sides, really see what happens. But this time around, they really did take that control. You saw Marved push straight up the bathrooms. Corey and BABYBAY doing their work in towards U-Haul. So maybe this is the change that FaZe have done in the past couple of weeks. Taken time, looked over the VODs, and got in and realized that they need to get more map control. And that's exactly what they've done in the first round.
And again, that's at least just a very good start. I mean, especially because of the fact that most teams, whenever they do try to go for a little bit of an A take, it's mainly going to be supplemented by a U-Haul run, especially on pistol round. But for now that we're looking at B, we're looking at farm here for BABYBAY and Corey tapping on away with a ghost, but one. More importantly, Rawkus in mid. A little bit of a spray transfer, cheeky. 3K for him at the very end of things. And it was a little bit of a farm that round. MunkE, they didn't really invest, so they're going to be able to get up some rifles this round, Sully.
Yeah, I mean, FaZe as well, only losing 1 player. That was BABYBAY. He's not looking to invest. It doesn't look like he'll hold on to that frenzy. I think it makes sense. It's just kind of a bonus round for them. Corey is the only one that has spent a good chunk of change. He'll have 1.2, but even then, right now, FaZe, this is a bonus round for them. They can lose this, and they won't be too disappointed in the fact that their economy is fine. They've got enough cash to spend, even if they do lose this round. So MunkE, this is where you maybe try and punish some. This is where you find some swing momentum, and if you're lucky, you might actually pull around off these boys here on FaZe.
It would have to be, again, this default setup that they have. They have awareness throughout all of the extremities on this map. They have a player looking over towards bathrooms, except really dejectedly in a sense. It's real far away. A couple of players over towards short just to try to gain up a little bit of control. 1 player fighting in hookah. But I think more importantly, there's a person in long that's not getting into any sort of battle by any means. Sarge, he might take this B site or at least flank onto these players in hookah if he's lucky enough. I think finally they're going to readjust back onto the B site, but Sarge could make a lot of noise here.
Oh, this is interesting as well, because they've gone aggressive, and they've kind of given up that control. You don't have that Killjoy. You don't have a Cypher with tripwires or traps to really alert you of that presence, and unfortunately, BABYBAY gets caught out, and Corey as well. You lose the entire side of Long. They come and they pincer the one man already inside of Hookah, and that's a free side here for the side of MunkE FaZe. They will try and commence its retake. I mentioned it was a bonus round, so they don't have a lot to lose here, and they will try and do the best they can in this 3v5.
Again, it's real slow, but they do have the util to actually use back. The Omen would actually be able to help out. Really just get a flash on site, and indeed it's going to happen, but they don't exactly execute on it either. Rawkus in a beautiful position, going to be able to catch on one. 3-on-3. ZachaREEE swinging, but it's actually going to be Rawkus with yet another one. This is turned from a 5-on-3 to a 3-on-2. keruse once again trying to spray on through the smoke, not going to be able to find anything. FaZe a flawless 3v5 retake. And again, MunkE, they had an incredible job of actually getting their way on site. But that hold, a little bit scrappy. They didn't have good post plant by any means. And what I mean by that, Sully, they had 3 people in tin can. I don't really know how they thought that would work.
Exactly, and the thing is that they had full control. The thing about the B bomb site is the reason why retakes work is because you have players rotating from A through teleporter through bottom of B mid. That's what makes it so successful. The fact that FaZe, all 3 of them come from that CT side, the fact that they get it done in that position with 5 players watching that angle, it's amazing. keruse is sitting in Hookah. He's got the perfect view to take control of this round, and Corey's done exactly that in round number 4. 2 kills right up the bat. They don't know where the spike is, but now they're doing Rawkus taking down laoken, and now it's just down to 2. There's not much they can do here. This round was expectedly going the way of FaZe, and they have a clean 4-0 start coming their way.
Real clean. Mangdrew, last person remaining, just trying to snag up another one, but again, unexpectedly, you kind of just have FaZe pugging out, holding W and taking down multiple players over towards mid, and now at this point, it is going to be MunkE back with a little bit of a buy. BABYBAY, of course, I think I would expect this to be a little bit of PM, if anything. BABYBAY still has the Bucky in hand, but I'm looking at this setup. Are they really gonna roll 3B? Okay, no, they're not. Yeah, that's very important for them not to really mess up at this point. Their Hookah hold has been pretty good thus far, just holding double there. But now they're going to split a 1-2 combo going between Long and Hookah. Putting Rawkus and Long is probably the most important part, purely just for util too. So I'm actually kind of excited to see how that little dynamic actually works out for FaZe. But I think more importantly, MunkE, they're going to leave Spike all the way back in their spawn. They're really just looking for what would be a couple of frags on this B site before even executing.
Curious thing is that Corey's already rotated very early. I'm more to see what BABYBAY can do with this Bucky. Oh my god. Already takes down one.
No way!
BABYBAY. Oh, baby, up close. He finds 2, even wants a little bit more, causing all of this disruption. But look at keruse. He was the man that could have won them their first round in round number 3. Now he's trying to salvage something. They do still have the spike for his teammates in a very tricky predicament, and walks into the open, and Corey shuts it down. 1v2 for keruse, and he needs a 4K to pull this one out. He's got the 3rd already, Gus. It's down to just 1.
Uh-oh. Just waiting for the approach. It's still nothing. It's just very awkward.
30
Again,
seconds
he had
left.
spike control, but he's going to allow keruse to kind of walk out over up towards Long, take spike back. But again, he's really just holding back for sight, really waiting on a choke point. But again, good stuff thus far from MunkE. Still really just throwing bodies towards that site and just hoping that it works. And indeed, it has worked. Spike will go down.
10
Rawkus
seconds
will
left.
force to rotate.
Spike planted.
keruse takes his sweet time, but what? keruse, it's so early on. At this point, you could just wait up for Rawkus, but he's gonna chase. He's gonna chase for Rawkus. Has to. No way.
No!
He actually gets it. The absolute madman. A 4K for keruse all around. I don't understand how that actually worked, but Rawkus simply was not ready for that swing. I mean, in that elbow spot, you usually have what would be in a 3-man hold, something like that. That would be the threshold to really hold an elbow. But we saw in a 1v1, he just went all the way, almost a Hail Mary spot.
That's clean. I mean, I don't blame keruse. Obviously, the thought of pulling an ultimate so early out into a post plan, it seems a little bit rude, seems a little bit weird or strange to say the very least. But the idea is that he wants to force his opponent back. He knows that he's more than likely going to be rotating through that defender spot. He already made that mid-rotation. and he gambles on it. Keruse plays that perfectly. And now MunkE, maybe that's the confidence they need. Keruse is feeling himself. A 4K and a 1v1 against one of the best organizations in the world, FaZe Clan. They've got around here, Gus, and there's a chance they can pull up a little bit more.
Oh, absolutely. And that's at least a very good start. It's good to see kind of Keruse bouncing on out. But Mangdrew, all right, farming up that A site. 2 kills for him off the bat. Now it's going to be a 3-on-5 retake. FaZe did attempt this a little bit earlier on, but that was over towards B. It's a little bit more tight. Not only that, but the post plan from MunkE was a little bit weird. I think this one is even weirder, though. They have, I think, 3 players in U-Haul alone. 2 players, of course, kind of spread throughout would-be shortened bathroom. So those 2 are probably going to be the most important part. But in comes the rocket, going to be able to take down one. BABYBAY covering up Sarge. So that's U-Haul about to be cleared up. There's only one more to try to hold out, and that's Mangdrew. A 3rd kill for him. Keruse has the off angle, but just can't execute on the frag. They need to get this defused some way, somehow. But again, MunkE, they have good control of the choke points. And Ahlekss,
wait, they're not even on it.
BABYBAY has to run away. They're out of here, Sully. 4-2 scoreline.
Got the frag they needed. That's all they needed. That's all they wanted. Keruse draws that attention away. MunkE, they've actually stolen away that second round. It was a 5v3 again in favor of MunkE. FaZe bring it back, and it comes down to the wire, but MunkE prevails. 2nd round on the board. This is getting a little bit dicey in terms of economy, though. They've been losing players left, right, and center. They're only walking away with 1 each time that they've won the round. So money is not going to be there. FaZe still sit pretty, so despite the rounds that MunkE have won, despite how it looks for them, FaZe are still in full control of this game. They're looking to break the backs of the MunkE.
Looking at least to do so for now, but again, you have to really pay attention to what would be FaZe and their dwindling economy. I think this would be a very good reset, and MunkE could, I mean, even trying to get themselves a little bit of a tie in this game just off of this 1 round alone. But let's wait for the actual setup, because again, they are waiting up. They touched hookah for a second. I think they even cleared it, but they're not even going to approach. It's almost as if FaZe is really relying on that 1 spot for their actual take. So they're really kind of throwing them off. Every single player coming out towards long. Corey around the corner. The Rolling Thunder is going to be able to at least take down, discombobulate one. There's no one in the back of sights. FaZe is really just focusing on these choke points. And Corey, all the information in the world, able to get himself 2. And now it's a 3-on-2. BABYBAY with a nice, has it out. One last player is Ahlekss, and he is out of here. FaZe, they take a 5th. Pure chaos off the retake, but it looked beautiful.
I absolutely adore the way Corey played that. The Rolling Thunder goes in, he's fully smoked off. He knows what he has to do. That single paint shell grenade, it seems a little bit insignificant in the grand scheme of things, the way that everything played out. But that single paint shell grenade splits that entire attacking line. You saw Sarge, he goes right on ahead. He gets stopped right before they can go out, and the entire attacking side is offloaded. It's split. There's a giant gap between the leading player and the player right behind him, and it gives just enough time for FaZe to send in that recon bolt, allow those rotations, and give themselves ample time to respond. So Corey does so much of the heavy lifting there, and BABYBAY has a little bit of the weight offloaded of his shoulders. Marved just takes down Mangdrew, and now FaZe, they've got a man advantage.
The 2-man advantage, a little bit of a rush over towards mid. It is, again, it is a little bit puggy, but I guess in this round they're able to do so. They're facing up against the pistols. And again, I mentioned that really FaZe would be in this situation if MunkE had taken that last round. So, I mean, both being as fragile as it is, I think FaZe really comes out really with the overall dub. I think MunkE, they're just going to keep getting dejected because I don't really see them getting too many frags off this round alone. BABYBAY, he is already low on HP, but he still gets another one onto laoken. Ahlekss, remaining, has a dig, and Marved, oof, close range, going to be able to get it. The double op setup does work out in the favor of FaZe. Yet another one coming up, as MunkE, they do have a buyback, Sully.
Yeah, they still have no cash. That's the only issue here. Those 2 rounds that they won basically set their loss bonus back to 0. They're going to start to build it up just a little bit, but it will be tough times for now. FaZe look on top of the game. I like the map control that they're going for. Corey not too shy to take fights like that. Same with BABYBAY and Marved, both on this A bomb site from the last round. See if that confidence still holds. Marved is in a very peculiar position. Not a lot of support utility can be thrown to help him out, and especially with an operator, you really cannot miss a single shot. And he's still standing, Marved. Standing, but how long? Not for long. Only is good for one. laoken quick on his feet, quick with the trade, and even better on the trigger. But his body goes through the teleporter, and it's a lockdown on the A site. 2 versus 4. The 2 shower players lost for words as the attack has now been fumbled.
Fumbled purely because of what was a very deep take by FaZe once again. And again, this is a little bit of a change in terms of dynamic for FaZe Clan. I mean, usually when we talked about FaZe and their old style of play, and when we mean old just from their other games, is really a little bit more conservative in a sense, a lot more disciplined, where they try to stay back mainly towards sight, mainly towards just keeping an eye on the extremities. But now they're finally showing what they're really like when they actually really want to go for pure frags, when they want to push the scenario. And at this point, 2-man advantage, not bad by any means. I think at this point, Ahlekss, he's in for a rough one. He has no more util to actually use. It's just that cage up. He's already used up that ulti too. He already knows that both players are on site, but he takes a little bit too much time. ZachaREEE, he gets the kill with the bot. And I mean, hey, FaZe, 7th round, MunkE, they're going to have to go back to the Sheriffs, really just to upgraded pistols once again. And it's kind of easy going for FaZe at the moment here on Bind.
Yeah, really calm so far from the boys over at FaZe. Not really too worried, it seems. I mean, yeah, you talk about kind of the map control that they're now fighting for, and we spoke in the pregame. That seemed to be the issue against, especially Equinox, when they played them in that round of 32, where they just couldn't crack the top 16 in that best of 3. That seemed to be their main issue, is really allowing so much map control. When I was watching that game, when I was watching the VOD back, the main issue was that Equinox, they didn't even have really good executions, just that FaZe sat so calm back on the sites, and now you see Corey really fighting for this map control. Maybe it's because of the fact that it's minor, maybe it's because they've got confidence and now they feel good again. Corey will be flushed out though. So much utility called upon. There are so many players here from FaZe ready to take this retake.
No opening frags though from FaZe. They don't get a singular frag from those players in hookah. I mean, they had the right setup, but great util from MunkE, and now they have the 2-man advantage solely. But now in comes the real challenge. BABYBAY in the front lines, but the operator does take down laoken. 2 players, 3 players outside Sin Can. They're really just focusing on what would be a singular take from these players. And BABYBAY is slowly covering things up. Marved with another one. The ops are shining. And not only that, but the Killjoy OG is out. Sarge would have had to go absolutely massive to really make that work. BABYBAY with a 3rd frag. Oh, there it goes. Spike being defused. Mangdrew does not have an angle on the actual spike itself. He's stuck over towards long. He even gets tagged down over towards long through the wall. Marved with a 2nd one to put him in his coffin. 8-2 score line. Once again, MunkE, a really good take. A really good take. But FaZe, they end up exploiting what is some poor post-plant positions.
100%, and just to go back to your words, they were so discombobulated. The issue is that they have no hookah control. Yes, they've got to play out towards long. A common retake scenario like that is throw 1 or 2 guys out towards long, maybe 1 garden, keep your Sova all the way in the back if he has that Hunter's Fury, leave 1 in hookah. They don't do that. They don't have anyone in hookah. When you have 3 players on that site right around the tin can, a single Omen smoke in a placed in the proper position throws everybody on that attacking side of that retake completely off their rocker, and they have no idea what's going on, and it makes it so much easier for the ops to pick players that look a little bit lost, that are wandering around trying to get some information through those smokes. And the ops, they do their job, they pick players off. And MunkE, that's the 2nd time that they've lost a retake on B where they should have had it locked in.
And now we wait out for an actual approach though, because MunkE, they do split the map. Not exactly a hard default, but it's definitely a good setup. Fault line going to actually catch Rawkus, but here's the thing with a lot of the util from MunkE, they take a little bit too long to actually kind of execute off of it, and that may just be their kryptonites. Rawkus has the angle up front, but good flash. Now he's out of there. Now MunkE's util starts to shine, almost exactly that same take from B. Really well done.
30 seconds left.
Now they have control U-Haul, but FaZe, they're hounding the rest of the site. But in comes a wide rotation as keruse does lurk over on the B side, gets the frag, the teleporters come in, and well, FaZe, once again, they have to go for a B retake.
I think that's what they were hoping for. They threw in that fault line. They were just waiting to see if keruse could get anything, and keruse has got even more. 2 kills to his name, but Marved should have this trade, but he's off the scope. Him and both BABYBAY here. There really isn't a lot they can do to support one another. If one misses the shot, the other got a beat, and keruse is barely alive, but still standing. Marved, unbelievable. Jumps around the corner. The operator was from both him and BABYBAY. He swapped out the Vandal. This is the retake you want. This is the hold you want from MunkE. 2 players up towards Zuka. A crucial choke point, but BABYBAY knows no make. Pros are off of the bomb. Marved is last alive. 1 versus 3, and there's nothing he can do. Swarmed and overwhelmed. And finally, MunkE have a round 1 on the B bomb site.
I mean, that's just massive. They've been really lining up for that almost all game, really just having a lurker on site, not making any noise by any means, just so he could end up executing on the spike. We saw that on the last B take, and we see it once again, and this time it works out. But can they really rely on that? I mean, they've had 3 opportunities now to really hold off that B site with that same sort of mindset. Just put bodies on the actual tin can and just hope that one of them is not going to get spotted. But FaZe, they're checking their corners. They're making sure that that entire site is just not being taken. But I think more importantly, I think some of these players, they really got lucky for the fact that FaZe, they didn't even go towards that main area. And, well, just good hold in general in elbow. Now you really got to think, FaZe clan already down to 4 players. A peek over towards mid, that's a little bit ballsy. 1 and long, though. Rawkus could make a lot of noise.
You hold on to this position, because most of the retakes, like you mentioned, FaZe, actually every B-side retake, nobody's come from the backside of hookah or even towards long. So if Rawkus can hold on to this, maybe he can be a big factor in the retake if he's able to deny the spike plan, if possible. For now, though, nothing. No noise made. Corey will be spotted out by the paint shell grenade, or maybe just a precarious lob. Corey now definitely spotting a player, and it's up to Rawkus to hold down long. He's a key factor because they do have easy rotations, and as I say that, keruse rips the head off of Corey, and Rawkus, it is all onto him, and nothing he can do about that one. Rawkus wide swing, and
jeez,
more pain coming on in. Straight showstopper, and keruse, that is clean from the man of 3K, and MunkE, they ended on a high note with a 4th round.
Switching sides.
And again, that's so pivotal. I mean, purely because of the fact that 2 rounds in a row, Sully, 2 rounds in a row, we have that same position getting exploited by MunkE, that same long cubby spot. So I think it was kind of expected that MunkE would be checking that corner, and indeed they did. So now FaZe letting up 4 rounds against the MunkE. Well, 2 of them coming in the very last stretch. We look into the buy, nothing really to look forward to. It's really just going to be what would be a couple of upgraded pistols on the defensive side, which is a little bit more expected. But FaZe, they're trying to barrel their way through A for now. Almost looks like a bathroom take, but let's see if that's actually the dynamic. MunkE, more importantly, is that only a single player on A. They gamble stacked B. They gamble... No, they actually gamble rushed B. Interesting.
It's a little bit interesting. I mean, I'm gonna hopefully reinforce the fact that they have tripwires. They're banking on the fact that they can retake A. But again, same issue with most teams that want to retake B. You've got nothing coming from the backside. They're all coming from defender spawn, and they're even split apart. Sarge is a little bit ways behind them, and BABYBAY, we know what he's capable of, and he wants to go for the early swing. Unfortunately, doesn't get much from it. Gets a little bit of damage done, but that's going to stop them up for this frenzy, and maybe can mop them up 1 by 1. BABYBAY, he's able to pick up 1 there. Corey catches the 2nd, and right now it's clean so far here from FaZe. But as I say that, 2 kills go back the way, and we're still in a 2v2 retake here, Gus.
Mangdrew on the front lines. He is getting taken down little by that turret. Sarge does spot 1. That's Marved sitting on top of the boxes, but that's a beautiful flank from ZachaREEE. Only good for 1, but all he has to do is just stay disciplined. He doesn't even have to peek. Marved steps up to the plate. I mean, they knew that he was on those triple boxes from the very beginning. So again, that's just very unfortunate for MunkE. Good hold by FaZe in general. Kind of like a meat grinder in a sense. That 1 choke point just getting so much attention. And by the time MunkE actually got on site, they were already reduced to 2 players. FaZe now, they will be able to buy. It's pretty easy. MunkE, they do not have money by any means to invest. Like, they should not be investing at all into this round. Just keep your credits at around 2K for that half. So then you could equalize back up to Vandals and Phantoms going into the next round. Oh, Sarge.
Okay, he got it.
All right, he got it. Interesting now. That should help out on retakes. but still around the corner, Sarge and Mangdrew, they're gonna go down slowly.
Oh, and love. I'd call that just perfect utility.
That's sadistic.
Usage. Yeah. It's just like, oh, paint shell grenade? Okay, I can run up. Never mind, I'm dead with the storm grenade. Just good utility usage and BABYBAY. A knife in his back. A little bit cheeky. A little bit cheeky. FaZe definitely feeling the confidence now. It's running through their veins. And MunkE, hopefully they don't get heated over that. Keruse has been having a phenomenal game so far, and hopefully he can keep it up. But this is where the guns come out, and maybe where the tides will turn finally for the side of MunkE on their defensive half.
And again, real good thus far, but this is really where that whole hat-buy dynamic actually comes into play. For those who don't know, really off the very beginning, it's something called the double eco. You're pretty much forced to really eco out for 2 rounds in a row. And even from the buy that we're seeing now from MunkE, it's really just a smattering of just kind of forced out Vandals and Phantoms. Their util is a little bit low. So I guess to that extent, they could have ecoed for another run, but they just can't. In comes an actual take. Players over towards U-Haul. They just immediately backed on out. But Ahlekss has such a huge opportunity. But 2 players over towards Heaven, and they're good for 3. Corey, run around, and now it's a 2-on-3. MunkE trying to make their way back in, but I think this is already dead and gone. Mangdrew has been a little bit of a legend from MunkE thus far, but Heaven being watched like a hawk. ZachaREEE from long range going to be able to get a kill with the Bulldog and a second for himself. 11-4 scoreline. MunkE has nothing to buy with into this next round, so FaZe most likely will be catching up to that match point.
Yeah, the red carpet's now been rolled out here for FaZe. I'm curious because it does look like they're actually making slight investments. They are trying to keep this from going to OT. They want to keep this going. They want to try and close this out 13-11 if possible, and that's why they're force buying here. It seems a little bit risky just because of the fact that if they lose this round, Gus, the carpet's rolled out. They're 1 step away from the cinemas, and FaZe have got the game in their hands. If they find this 12, it should be broken and battered MunkE here, but Mangdrew, it's aggressive. He's got an opening. But an instant trade back from ZachaREEE makes it worth their while, and BABYBAY as well. Asserts dominance out towards B long. And currently, MunkE, they've got nothing left to work with now.
No, nothing at all. They had a shotgun, and man, that would have actually been insane if he had his gun out. But well, in comes FaZe. Again, that's the pugger mindset. That's the deathmatch mindset. Just holding W and just hoping that it works, relying on your aim, and it certainly did. MunkE now 4-12. They need to make back such a long road, but well, they have an alright start for it. 3 Vandals, light armor, even a Guardian waiting up on Sarge, and of course, Stinger squad. Oh my. Well, all right, let's see if it works. FaZe at this point, they might be aiming for a B take.
See, I'm thinking that you give keruse maybe a Vandal because he's had a pretty banging game, and with a flying BABYBAY out the sky he goes. Clay pigeons. They had 3 out towards long. Now they only have 1. As Mangdrew's the only one really trying to do anything about it. Corey's just trying to draw attention away. That's a really good paint shell grenade as well. Forces the angle, forces the peek, and Corey's got the frag. Now Mangdrew, oh, the TP as well. Straight into the crosshair of Corey, just down to 2. And I think we know the result of this game. Keruse, yes, he's a beast, but with a stinger, you can only do so much with it now, can't you?
Yeah, wait up for Ahlekss, though. He's going to get into, most likely, an interaction up towards elbow, but it's simply not going to happen. Keruse has to spray transfer, but it's not going to work. FaZe Clan take map number 1, 13-4. It's a little bit of a farm, but ladies and gentlemen, we do have a map number 2 coming up in just a little bit.
I mean, there were some